the silence of deep space, a massive world drifts around the sun. A world so iconic that even a child could recognize it from a drawing. Saturn, the jewel of our solar system, the planet of rings. But what if I told you something shocking? Something that completely rewrites what we thought we knew about this mysterious giant. Saturn's rings are disappearing. Yes, the greatest visual symbol of our solar system is fading. Slowly, constantly. And one day, when future civilizations look up at the night sky, they might not see the Saturn we know today. They'll see a planet stripped of its crown, a gas giant with no glittering halo, just another sphere floating in the infinite dark. Most people don't realize how fragile Saturn's rings really are. They appear enormous and solid in images, like a grand cosmic structure sculpted with perfect symmetry. But the truth is far more surprising. Those iconic rings are not one solid object. They are billions and billions of fragments, tiny pieces of ice, dust, and rock. Some no larger than sand grains, others the size of houses or mountains. Each piece orbits Saturn like a miniature moon. The rings stretch out more than 120,000 kilometers from one end to the other. If we could unroll them and wrap them around Earth, they would circle our planet nearly 3 times. But here's the mind-bending part. Despite being so wide, the rings are incredibly thin. Thinner than a building, just a few dozen meters thick in most places. That means Saturn's rings are flatter than a sheet of paper relative to their size. From far away, they appear sharp and perfectly defined. But up close, they are a chaotic river of speeding particles. To understand Saturn's story, we need to travel back in time to the year 1610. Galileo Galilei pointed one of the world's first telescopes at Saturn. His telescope was primitive, blurry, and weak. Saturn looked strange, unlike any other planet. He saw lumps on both sides of the planet. Confused, he made a sketch and wrote in his notes, "Saturn appears to have ears." He thought the planet had little spheres attached to it. He had seen the rings, but he could not understand them. It would take more than 40 years for another astronomer, Christian Huygens, to solve the mystery. With a more advanced telescope, he realized that Saturn was surrounded by a thin, flat ring that did not touch the planet. Humanity suddenly learned that Saturn wasn't just another wandering sphere. It was special. It was unique. For centuries, people believed Saturn's rings were eternal. But we were wrong. In 2017, the Cassini spacecraft, and after 13 years orbiting Saturn, made a dramatic, intentional dive into the planet's atmosphere. It sacrificed itself to avoid contaminating Saturn's moons. During that final mission, as it passed between Saturn and its rings, Cassini collected the most precise data ever recorded. What NASA discovered changed everything. Saturn's rings are falling onto the planet, like rain. This phenomenon has a name. Ring rain. Saturn is slowly consuming its own rings. Ice fragments, dust, and rock are being pulled downward by Saturn's gravity and magnetic field. Every second, the rings lose material equal to a truckload of ice. Imagine throwing a massive cargo truck full of ice into a planet. Every second. That means in a single day, Saturn loses hundreds of thousands of tons of ring material. Over the course of a year, that loss reaches more than 200 million tons. At this rate, Saturn's rings will completely disappear in about 100 million years. 100 million years may sound like a long time to us, but in cosmic terms, it is the blink of an eye. Saturn itself is more than 4.5 billion years old. If we compress the entire history of Saturn into a single 24-hour day, then the rings have existed for only the last 3 minutes, and they'll only survive a few minutes more. We just happen to be alive at the perfect time to witness Saturn wearing its crown. But here's the twist. The rings are not only disappearing, they were never supposed to be here in the first place. For decades, scientists assumed the rings were as old as the planet, billions of years old. But Cassini's data revealed something shocking. The rings are young, very young, maybe just 10 to 100 million years old. That means dinosaurs on Earth may have lived under a night sky without ringed Saturn. There was a time, very recently, when Saturn had no rings. So if the rings are temporary, where did they come from? The leading theory is dramatic. Once Saturn may have had a massive moon, a world the size of our own moon or even larger. Something happened. Maybe a collision with another moon, maybe a gravitational disturbance from another planet. Maybe Saturn itself pulled too strongly as the moon spiraled inward. Whatever the cause, the moon shattered. Its outer layers, and made of ice, were ripped apart and spread around Saturn. The rocky core plunged into the planet. While the icy fragments formed the rings we see today, Saturn's rings might be the remnants of a destroyed moon. Another theory is even more brutal. 2 moons could have collided near Saturn. The impact blasted trillions of icy particles into orbit. The fragments spread out and formed rings. Either way, the rings are the result of death. A moon died so that Saturn could be beautiful, and now Saturn is killing the rings in return. This poetic cycle, creation and destruction, is happening silently, right now, as you listen to this. The rings that define Saturn are dissolving. The particles spiral downward. Gravity pulls them in. Electricity from Saturn's magnetic field accelerates them. And in the end, they fall, like cosmic snow, like frozen ashes, like rain. Imagine standing on Saturn, if that were even possible, and looking up. From the planet's upper atmosphere, tiny particles of the rings would appear as streaks of falling ice. It would look like a glittering rainstorm of diamonds. Cassini observed that ring particles enter the atmosphere, then vaporize and break down chemically. Water and organic molecules, once part of a grand ring, now become part of the planet's clouds. The most beautiful feature in the solar system is disappearing, molecule by molecule. Cassini's final descent was emotional. As it dove into Saturn, it sent its last messages to Earth. The signal became faint, then weaker, then silent. Cassini burned and disintegrated in Saturn's upper atmosphere, an honorable end, preventing the risk of contaminating potentially habitable moons like Enceladus, which may hide an ocean beneath its icy shell, even during its death dive. Cassini continued collecting data until it could no longer survive. The readings confirmed the inevitable fate of the rings. Saturn's rings are temporary. One day, people might look at a picture of Saturn the way we look at fossils. A memory, a piece of history. Scientists believe that future civilizations, millions of years from now, may not know Saturn as a ringed planet at all. They will have no idea what we were so mesmerized by. We are the lucky ones. We are alive during the brief moment in cosmic time when Saturn wears its crown. This is the real story of Saturn's rings. They weren't always here. They won't always be here. They exist only in a small window of time, and we happen to be living in that window. Saturn teaches us something profound about the universe. Nothing lasts forever. Not stars, not planets, not rings. Everything is part of a cycle. A star is born. It shines. It dies. A moon is shattered. It becomes rings. Rings fall. They disappear. Everything we see, no matter how enormous or magnificent, exists only for a moment. Saturn's rings are not just ice in space. They are the remains of a world, a monument to change, a symbol of impermanence. So the next time you look at an image of Saturn, remember this. You are looking at something temporary. You are witnessing a moment that the universe itself will eventually erase. We live in the era of rings, and that makes us incredibly fortunate.